State Theater in downtown State College. The Mastersons will be on stage, as will Steve Earle. You don't have to wait, though, because right now the Mastersons are here in our studio. Ladies and gentlemen in the studio audience, would you please put your hands together and welcome the Mastersons. So good. There's a lot of cool parts about having a job in radio. To be 5 feet away from musicians this talented. Chris Masterson and Eleanor Whitmore are here. Welcome to you both. Thanks for being on the Freq.
Thanks for having us.
This is the beginning of their 4-hour live radio performance, which they were kind enough to agree to do, despite the fact that their gig is in 5 hours. So I thought that was very... The new album is called Good Luck Charm. It's amazing, and I used to work in public radio where you couldn't say this, but I'm telling you, you can buy this album and you should buy this album.
Well, that sounds like a call to action.
It certainly is. Luckily, this is commercial radio. It's totally fine. Go buy this record. This is your first album of co-written material. Can you talk about how that happened, how that evolved, that writing partnership, and what it was to write an entire album?
You know, I think with the last record, our very first record, was kind of his, hers in there. There were a couple of co-writes, but it was definitely, you know, that's an Eleanor song, that's a Chris song. And, but we kind of hit on a song in that first album, it was Crash Test, where we were, you know, singing throughout the song together and and that was kind of more of the template for the next album for Good Luck Charm?
The template is we kind of start, we pull the instruments out, and then we fight for a few minutes, and then come up with something.
That sounds perfect. I think that's how all healthy songwriting partnerships work.
Yes. We shall say.
Well,
I mean, so we kind of have to explore that.
It's kind of working. We sat down the other day to write a tune, and it was moving along, just pretty nicely. And we had a little bit of a fight, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is about par for the chorus, and then finished the song. So it seems to be working.
Are the fights about go to the bridge here, or you should sing here, or are these totally disconnected from the songs, and then you go back to the song?
Well, that gives me a whole new idea. They're usually about the song.
Okay. I have to believe the amount of time that you guys have spent on the road has expanded the breadth of what you feel like you're capable of doing together as musicians. Did that inform the songwriting for this album?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny, we wrote the songs for Good Luck Charm, the record, on the last Steve Earle tour, so we kind of don't stop. So the bulk of, and we're doing the same thing record, and we sort of just don't stop. So yeah, I mean, you are influenced, by where you go, what you see out the bus window, what, the people and places around you. Sure, those things find their ways. And
kind of what I was thinking about was, you hear like back in the 60s, I remember, hearing about jazz groups who would play for 6 weeks in one place, and the band would sound totally different at the end of the 6 weeks than at the beginning of the 6 weeks. And you guys have spent now so much time on the road, I mean, almost constantly, that I have to believe you are evolving even within yourselves as musicians as that happens, because you're playing constantly.
Sure, I think a lot of these songs even sound live now, a lot different than they do on the recording of Good Luck Charm. It just, when you put that many miles on a song and perform it that many times, it just gets tighter, or just, kind of, it just changes, and in a good way, I think. But I don't know, it definitely makes
an overly political album, but it's definitely an album with a message, I think, which I want to talk about when we come back. But why don't we listen to another song from the album right now? Folks, put your hands together again for the Mastersons.
Yay!
This song's called Uniform.
Turn, crash and burn, just move along, but you should get paralyzed, don't be paralyzed, you'll have to choose a side, another day just passed you by, put on your uniform, I can tell. Wear it well.
Mastersons. We're going to be back to talk to them some more and hear a couple more songs right after this. You're listening to 98.7 The Freq.
Okay for now? You okay?
About a minute, guys.
Okay.
Bobby, you here again?
Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
Well, I like sides.
It's so affordable, I can finally take a vacation.
Where you gonna go?
Here.
Introducing the new Dad's Classic Lunch Menu. Starting at a low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation at Build-Out Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Stand by, folks, about 30 seconds.
Palmer says up to free Wi-Fi with a network that's now up to 5 times faster than before. So James can download everything he needs. And when James has what he needs, you know what happens? This accumulation of sales hit this demand front from the south, so expect a significant...
Hey guys, we're going to clap again to come back in, okay, just so it sounds like the end of what we were doing before. The Freq, where we're here live with the Mastersons, Chris Masterson and Eleanor Whitmore. They are a band in their own right who have a fabulous new album called Good Luck Charm that is absolutely worth your time and money. And also tonight, speaking of things worth your time, both part of Steve Earle's band. You know, look, I hate to be this guy, but today I was riding here on my scooter at the exact moment that Steve Earle stepped out of the bus into the middle of College Avenue here in State College, and I yelled out, because I'm an idiot, "Hey, Steve!" And he turned around, and I have a full-face helmet on, but, you know, it's modular. Your band on the radio, which essentially like, "Hey, aliens are sending me messages through the tinfoil on my helmet," you know, so I felt stupid as soon as I yelled at him, but, you know, there it is. So I'd like to publicly apologize to Steve Earle for accosting him on the street today in State College. And we couldn't be happier to have the Mastersons here. I don't think Good Luck Charm is an overly political album, but I also don't think it's an album that shies away from saying something, from talking about the world in which we're living and kind of the conditions in which we live about that.
I think there's a lot of things going on that are disturbing to people on both sides, people in the middle, and, you know, sometimes when you just sit down and talk to somebody as a human being, you'd be surprised at how much you actually agree on, rather than disagree on some of these issues that are going on. And, you know, a lot of people don't like, you know, I think it's a tradition that's been going on for many decades. You know, it started, well, actually before the Vietnam War. Woody Guthrie was to do that, but
So if you disagree with our politics...
That's the best way to get back to the Mastersons. Yeah. When you folks sit down to write a song, do you ever say, "Okay, this is a topic we're going to tackle. Here's a thing that's happening in the world that we want to write a song about," or do you find that it kind of organically flows as you start writing the lyrics?
it just depends on the song. Sometimes the melody comes first, and but you know, other times, like with that last song, Uniform. We sat down with a friend of ours, Aaron Lee Tashjian, another talented songwriter, and you know, he had the idea for Uniform, and we just started talking. Well, you know, there's a lot of positive and negative connotations, a lot of respect, a lot of fear, and then just even in a general sense, as you know, just suiting up and showing up for a job, or just as a person in society, and you know, so that was kind of a fun one, just to talk about all the different angles of what it means to wear a uniform.
I was Steve Earle, that says, Chris is the best guitar player that's ever been in this band, and Eleanor is a better musician than any of us. Chris, how did you first connect with Steve Earle?
We met at a festival in Australia, probably about 15 years ago. I was over with another artist, and he was playing solo. And we had a mutual friend and a man named Stephen Bruton, and he kind of hooked us up, and we've been friends ever since. So we were friends for quite a while, you know, for the better part of a decade before we started working together.
Collaboration began?
Well, you know, he had a great band at the time. That last version of the Dukes. Then he took, I mean, probably 5 years to tour. He did the Washington Square Serenade record and the Towns record. So there was a period where he was just out solo. So then he had kind of said when I fired, timed out where I had done a record with Sunvolt, and Eleanor had started playing with Steve's then wife Allison Moore at the time. So not only did, you know, I knew I had the gig for a while, but then I have both you guys. I was like, okay. And, you know, I'm going to feature you guys. Really worked out pretty well for us, I'd have to say.
It does sound that
and
way.
give Steve mad props for.
And will you, will one of you tell folks about Jim Scott, who produced Good Luck Charm, and who he has a string of pretty impressive production credentials behind him?
He does. You know, we were kind of thinking about some of our favorite. He's worked with the Courtyard Hounds from the Dixie Chicks. He's you know, Tom Petty. Amazing credits, and
Wilco. He's made a couple really.
Yeah, Chili Peppers, all kinds.
Was into our songs, and he was just really a pleasure to work with. Just an amazing person to be around. Really positive, but still opinionated, and you know, I learned a lot. We both learned a lot making it really great.
You know, I don't want to assume that anybody actually knows something in the course of making a record. What was it that he actually did?
You know, it just depends. I mean, that could be, you know, every producer has their own style. Sometimes it's, you know, helping choose songs, helping arrange songs. Obviously, all the audio tasks, you know, choice of mics and instruments, and what to have on each song. You know, but when you get a producer like Jim, who has a pretty long track record of just making very organic sounding records, sometimes it's just a well-produced album. It's just the culmination of a well-executed decisions. You know, so a bunch of small things that are seemingly small at the time, but if you start to pile all those up and they're all the right decisions, that's when you get a big, expensive sounding record.
That's great. Folks, if you're interested in finding out more about the Mastersons, they are online at also on Facebook and Twitter. You can just search for the Mastersons, but they're finding everything you need there, all kinds of news about their touring, and of course, Good Luck Charm, the new record. Chris Masterson and Eleanor Whitmore, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. We're going to hear a couple more songs, but first, the Freq, and have a great show tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Folks, put your hands together again for the Mastersons.
And it's taken a toll. you never wash the sadness away. So just open up your eyes. Are you learning anything? It's not about what you take. This life's about what you bring. So come on, you can't keep fooling yourself. I've seen all the signs, and know just a cautionary tale.
I wasn't going to talk again, but before you play your last song, Marcy Masterson, I'm guessing it's not a coincidence, says y'all are sounding great. She's
That's my
listening.
mom.
She says, however, Shakti is less impressed. She slept through interview. Maybe
That
she'll
would be
work
our
out.
dog.
Fabulous. Hi,
I'm
Marcy.
taking care of our dog in Austin. Hey.
Yeah. So this is the title. Don't make news that every politicians make me mad and I can't take it any longer. I can't close
State Theater tonight with Steve Earle. There might be a ticket or two left, so, you know, hustle yourself down there and get one. Thank you to Roger for engineering it. Thank you to Kathy for the photography and filmography. And thank you especially to our wonderful studio audience. Give yourself a round of applause, studio audience. This is super cool. Our studio audience includes two people who won tickets to tonight's Steve Earle show, who happened to stop by to pick them up at the exact same moment the Mastersons were starting to play. And they said, hey, is there any chance we could get a little exclusive sneak preview of what we're going to see tonight? And so they were here in the studio. Check out Mastersonsmusic.com for everything Mastersons related. They're show. More music coming up from Kings of Leon after this. You're listening to 98.7 The Freq.